In this video, I'm going to show you how I import episodes into WP Podcasts. Before we get into the import, I want to take a look a little bit at data structure. I'm going to edit this with a classic editor. Um, I personally didn't add any custom fields to this. However, I do use this plugin from Mark Jakewith called Page Links To, which allows you to say, rather than link to the regular single page in WordPress, you can link to a custom URL and open it in a new tab, which you can see here. So on WP Podcasts, when you're looking at an archive and you click, you actually leave the site and go to the original. I did create a custom taxonomy called languages so that you can sort by languages. And we use default categories. We're not using tags. We use Post Promoter Pro to auto tweet when an episode comes in, and that's metadata. And I'll show you how that works when we do the import. That's pretty much it. Let's go look at an import. So, excuse me. So we click download a file from URL, put one in, and it pulls it in. And it says there are 156 things to be imported. On this page, I don't change anything. I just go to step 3. And as you saw in the podcast video, you can, once you've done this once, you can save it as a template. So I'm going to fire up the episodes one. So there's my title, description, images. So again, this one does do the featured image, so you need to make sure you get the right link. And some podcasts use the iTunes image tag and some don't. Let's see if I do. This is my podcast. Yes, so here's the image, the iTunes image. Alternatively, you might see a tag that just says image. Looks like we're not using that. It usually doesn't matter which one you use. And if neither are there, which sometimes happens, then you can just put in a URL. So often I will go back to the channel and grab the whole podcast icon URL and put it in here. I don't make any changes to anything else there. Custom fields. This is for Mark's plugin, Links to Target. So we need to create 2 metas, links to target, and it gets underscore blank. And then links to, and then we grab the link from here. And that's it. That magically makes the whole thing work as far as linking out to the other site. We're not doing any custom fields, so we can ignore that. Taxonomies. So this is important. This is how you connect your episodes to your podcast. This is just the plain text title of your category. And so in this case, I don't have it there. So often I actually forget exactly what it is. And just to make sure I don't mess it up, I come over here and I copy directly because sometimes there are odd characters or whatever. So I would put that in right there. Tags is the biggest thorn in my side because every podcast does them differently, and many podcasts don't do them at all, and it's just annoying. Let's see if I do them at all. I'm not sure. iTunes keywords is the default, so I don't use the keywords one, but I do use categories. So this is the more googly way. So if I wanted them, I would double click here and click there. And then the second one magically puts in the 2 and the 3. And so this can be a variable number of categories. And so often what I'll do is I'll put in like 10 of these and just increment the numbers by hand. That makes sure I get them all, or enough. And it doesn't hurt anything to have some that aren't there. So I'm just going to leave those right there. And then for the language taxonomy, I just put in the proper one. I can show you how that works too. Languages. So there's English, and you can see the slugs over here. So EN is the slug for English. Other post options. I don't mess with any of this stuff. And then the function editor. I described this in the other video, but I'll do it again here because it's more relevant. Post Promoter Pro functions by using some settings in Post Meta. The issue with WP All Import is that it imports the post, saves it, and then inserts its related meta. So Post Promoter Pro never sees it being saved as new with the proper meta in place. So the good folks at WP All Import wrote this code for me. This could be outside here. It could be in a plugin if I wanted, but they suggested I put it here, and I wanted to test it out and see how it works. And it works great. So this code, after save, after insert of meta, runs through and basically does a resave so that it can send the share and publish. So I'm going to continue to step 4. Unique identifier is title. Again, it's theoretically possible that we could have duplicate titles in podcasts, but it's very unlikely. I've never seen it. It'll probably happen someday. Scheduling options. So, WP All Import very thoughtfully and nicely gave me a license for the plugin, but they have a service for cron that I pay for. It's $9 a month. I was thinking originally that I would do manual scheduling and use cron jobs, but because of the size of some of these podcast files, they time out, and that's fine. That's expected, and so you have to rerun cron picking up from where it left off, and it got really complicated. There are docs you can do it. My time is worth $9 a month, and all I have to do is come in here and say when I want it to go. So for this one at 5:30 a.m. UTC every day, it goes and gets new episodes. So my recommendation is that you pay for it. It's doing it manually is a headache and a half. And then in here you would put in a friendly name. And I think this is already saving one. So hallway 2, and I'll come back and delete this one. So that's advanced settings. And then continue. And this is where you can confirm and run your first import. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to manage imports, search for hall. Oh, it didn't save it. All right. Well, good. Yeah, so that's it. You can theoretically run a manual import anytime you want. The time it takes varies tremendously because the hard part is fetching the feed from the remote server. So here, I'll go ahead and run this one, and you can see how long it takes. So it's going to pull in a file that holds 156 records, and it processes 20 at a time, and you can see how fast it's going. I misspoke. I said a lot of it is how long it takes to get the original file. If it's pulling in a unique image for every episode, that can take some time. It is skipping ones that it's already done, so it's not importing anything at all right now. Yeah, so it says processed, and it doesn't say how many were imported. So that's it. The podcasts themselves don't import on a recurring basis. The episodes import themselves on cron, and so every single day there are new ones. And I don't have to do anything. It just pulls them in and creates a site that looks like this. Hey, look, there's one without an image. I need to fix that. Probably just go into the episodes thing and tell it to use the podcast image. And that's all there is to it.